23, these are some of the key people that spoke to the class. Joe Bradford spoke on financial literacy as part of our leadership lecture series number 3. We had just finished with the Afropreneur, but we invited him. He spoke to the class on entrepreneurship and networking in company of Malam Nasir Gewa, who is with Bua Refinery and Petrochemical in Nigeria. And last but not the least there, we have Dr. Ali Nakvi, who is a specialist on artificial intelligence, speak to the class about how we should react to artificial intelligence. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the project. One of the things we did with the project is to, one, encourage the participant to work in teams and also to look for solutions to problems. A lot of time people talk about the problems. They know the nature of the problems. But we want to teach our participants about how to find solutions to problems. And the way, the matrix we use to decide what project they are working on is the same matrix we used when we did the strategic meetings. We look at the efforts and we look at the results. So, and I hope that by the time we get started today, you will see that all of this has been taken into consideration. We have thrown lots to pick who is going to go first. And fortunately, we have the first person presenting to us on Zoom. So we are going to go to the first presentation. So So, go ahead and start your presentation.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm wondering if you can see my screen.
We can't hear you yet, so you might have to start. Yes.
I'm wondering if you can see my screen.
We can see your screen.
Or I guess I'm not able to share my screen.
We can see your screen.
We see your screen. We see your screen. We can see your screen. Get started.
Okay, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Amin Bello, and I'm presenting this as a member of the NCNMO Aspire Youth Religious Education Group. Other members of my team that were not able to present today are Latifa Adedeji, Sister Aliyah Adebola, and Sister Mariam Tajuddin. So the main issue that our project was attempting to address was the issue of what do youth do, what are we able to do when we're not at platform. So we noticed that there's a limited availability of youth engagement beyond platform and beyond Yasser. So beyond the events that everybody's able to show up to, there's kind of like a very long time in between where we're not necessarily engaging in Islamic studies or Islamic content, or we don't know what level of Islamic content we're able to kind of engage in. So those are the issues that we kind of noticed and that we were addressing and trying to find solutions to. So the way that we attempted to find the solutions, or the solutions we looked at, were to establish connections with the communities that we were part of, and then communities on platforms that youth already go to. So the ones we kind of looked at the most were Spotify for podcasting, and Instagram for social media outreach. We aim to heighten the youth interest through the creation of content by youth for youth, and enhance the engagement levels by consistently giving people Islamic programs and activities to engage with. So this is kind of how we went about executing the project, which was to reach out to NCNMO communities, collect Quran and Hadith, posts and post them onto social media channels, and hopefully we'll still be able to post through the NCNMO website to kind of reach more of a wider audience than we have been able to. And additionally, we were able to launch a podcast series that enabled us to answer some questions on a personal and educational level for focusing on our Islamic education and our Islamic identity. So we're targeting mostly people that have already graduated high school. So we decided to call it the youth group from 18 to 39. Our outcome was that we were able to establish and maintain some Instagram accounts for sharing those Islamic reminders, such as Muslim Youth Links, which you could still go on Instagram and follow. And we're able to also launch a podcast series with the goal of educating and reminding youth about what Islamic education is like and fostering a stronger Islamic identity. And that's on Spotify as Aspire Youth Podcast. So we're still hoping to continue and make some more content and more Islamic posts, both on Instagram and some forthcoming podcasts that would hopefully address Muslim identity, Muslim and Islamic identity, the essence of Islam, the concepts of Iman, and embracing tawakkul, amongst other topics. I also wanted to address some of the challenges that we had as a group, which kind of dealt to not achieving nearly as much as we might have wanted to originally, and just kind of remind everybody that there are struggles that do come with taking on some of these projects, and hopefully looking forward to the future and how we can address some of the problems that we faced in our project. So, and then final thoughts were just as much as we are attempting to kind of revolutionize the way Islamic knowledge is brought to youth, I think it's still very important to mention that there's more than just knowledge of a benefit that comes from gaining your Islamic knowledge in a structured manner, in a structured environment. So being in a more classroom environment, and being in an environment where you're consistently expected to, complete types of homeworks and you're actively learning, is very different from any type of content that you can push or you can introduce to people at a larger level. And we need to also embrace being a student teacher in Islamic learning and Islamic development, because you only know so much, and you cannot be just a student forever, and you need to also embrace your role as a teacher and teach what you know as you learn more. As the Prophet ﷺ says that the best among you is those who learn the Quran and teaches it. And last but not least, which is to continue supporting the Islamic community or the community in Islamic education, whether it's a mother teaching their child Islamic knowledge, whether it's somebody volunteering on the weekends to teach Islamic Sunday school or Saturday school or after work hours, whatever it is, that what happens at the masjid or in our Islamic communities is very important and cannot be diminished or taken for granted when it comes to Islamic knowledge. And I'll open it up if anybody has any questions.
Thank you very much. Does anybody have any question for this group? Their topic is on youth education, how to connect the youth back to the community. They are talking about podcast and other things. So now you know they have that. If you have any questions, please get in touch with us in Aspire, and we'll connect you with them so that you can also join them in actualizing this. Because of time, we are going to go to the next group, and that will be the community development group. Please come to the stage, introduce yourself, and present your project. Bismillah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Abdul Mujib Uthman Afolarn, and I have here with me
Hamid Sanusi.
Rukoya Lawa.
Please go to the next slide. All right, so I guess we have to do a little intro. Okay. All right. Professionally, I'm a registered nurse, and I also a U.S. military member. I am a reserve component. I'm a reserve component. And inshallah, as we proceed with the PowerPoint, our other presenters will also be saying more about themselves. So regarding the project that we have in front of us, it's called the community development. As we know, the community is comprised of the mother, the children, the father, and so on and so forth. So we try to gather our project within what are our lacks within the communities, and starting the project, we kind of base it off of two things. So the first thing being, we have a newsletter, which are kind of handled by two of our members, and the other part of the project were kind of community-based projects. So I'm a proud supporter of the community-based project, me and Ajay Rukaya. So with regard to that, when we actually started the project, we have a lot of idea, which includes having chapters organized program that will eventually create a connection within the chapters, but eventually we had to we have to come down to the reality of the time that we have for the projects, and then we actually determined to say, what are the things that we can actually acquire within this a year program. We have to come down to the realistic aspect of it. So, and with that, we basically ended up coming up with this idea of creating a borehole system within a rural community back at home in Nigeria. And inshallah, we'll be speaking more regarding that as we move forward with our slide. Regarding partnership, in order for us to be able to, get a majority of this work done, we had to partner with some organization, which includes the Baptist Sister. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. So we're able to get some donations from them, and our thanks goes to them. If we have any Baptist Sisters member in the group. Jazakumullah khair. And regarding the empowering of the communities, of course, it's a vast, a vast topic, but I think was most important is actually taking that one step. You know, the ball system that we created, of course, is not gonna get the job done, but at least it's a step. You know, at least for the people back home to actually know, okay, these people out there doesn't neglect us. At least they know we're still here, you know. So that bowl system is actually giving water to, people that perhaps they couldn't eat just because they don't have water within their, their community. So alhamdulillah, this will be, some sort of sadaqah jariyah, when we finally gone, this will inshallah be giving us reward. And lastly, could you go back to the other slide? So the donation is something that's very important. Um, we were able to actually get some donations from some of our mentees. So we actually had to start from the inside before I actually started asking for people. We within ourselves had to donate some amount of, of money to actually show our dedication to the project. So from within there, we're able to actually show to our mentee, hey, we are actually serious about this project. And from there, they're actually able to, give us some sort of amount to get started. And in collaboration with that, that's when we actually say, why not just, bridge it together with the Babsi sister? And that's when they were able to actually come in. There's more to say regarding the Bawa system, but inshallah, I'll pass it on to Arja Rukoy.
Assalamu alaikum. So once again, my name is Rukoy Lawal, and I'm doing this project with Brother Abdul Mujib. So we have others doing something else. So we're in charge of this community outreach project in terms of reaching out to people. So the picture. So I would like to show you what we've done so far about the borehole. So you can see the location right here. So this place is called Ifakale. It's like 40 minutes away from Ikorodu, Lagos. So you won't believe somewhere close to Ikorodu, they didn't have no electricity, talk less of water. They still drink from river water. They drink from the river. So like he said, there was a time a friend of mine told me about it. Oh, we couldn't heat because there was no water to cook. I was like, are you kidding me? So we're like, okay, it's better to reach out to where they really need this help. So we're like, okay, this is the best we could do now for them is to give them water, even though we're not done with this. So, but at least they can drink water now. They can have water to cook with, to use. So we're not done, but at least they can have water now. Can you show the next picture, please? So this is where we had now. So we had to do the drilling, and we bought the borehole and the tank so that at least they can manage for now, because we don't have enough. So in case you want to help us or you want to reach out to people to support us, we really appreciate that. So this is where we had. Oh, you want to play the video, please? Video. Okay. And we have a lot of other projects too. So we had to start with this, but we have a lot. We want to reach out to children at school to help them with the school fees, school supplies. We have a lot of projects. So, and we're not going to stop. Every year, we're going to keep updating you about what we've done so far and how you can support us. So we'll be looking forward to your support. Thank you.
It just in summary, what they just said was that our project was around three things. We worked with the community, and then we took donations from the community, and then just like we've been learning so far that as leaders, when you want to do something, you have to put your skin in the game, which was us like donating first on our own end. So inshallah,
Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh. Jazakumullahu khairan ahsan jaza. I was actually going to give the number following the presentation, but since we're actually asking for it already, we will inshallah provide the number. Are you ready, sister? Or whoever's. The phone number will be 609 968 1964. Once again, it's 609 968 1964. Jazakumullahu khair. One more time. 609 968 1964. And I think I can try and say in Yoruba too if we need.
So just like Sister Rukoya had said before, every platform, how much we collect would always give the breakdown so that way we're transparent with whatever we're collecting and let people know what stage of the project that we are. And to the other side of the project, what we did in conjunction with that was to also reach out to our community as regards to how do we want to promote Islamic education in some sort of way. And the idea was to move from, we have several ideas from writing weekly newsletter and things like that, but we finally settled to recording audio sessions on Clubhouse. So the idea was to read a book, and we noticed that a problem that people talk about is that why do we have so much Hafiz, why do you have people that have so much knowledge and they do not act by what they understand? So we felt starting a book that had to do with Islamic manners or somewhere that could, be a springboard for us to have a lot of discussions. So we had about 4 book club sections in conjunction with Sister Habiba that is now currently in Nigeria, who would love to be here. And the sessions are recorded. We moved through several chapters, which was what we're able to achieve moving forward. But again, just like we've said, we're not stopping there because it's a continuous project. The community development group would be partnering again with several organizations to work on several community projects that we have. And on the other side, we would also be working to continue our book club sections. Jazakumullahu khairan.
Yeah, and sorry, I was going to tell us we're not done with this project. We're looking forward to build it. So we've done the drilling. Now we want to finish it by building it, placing the tank at the top of the thing, the foundation stuff, to have like faucet to fetch your water from. So to make it easy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Community Development Group. So actually, we're getting feedback on Zoom. Some people are even ready to join your group. So you get in touch. You're already having the pool. Thank you. The next group that will introduce their project to us, as you can see, these are things they were thinking of throughout the year as to how to solve problems. The next group is discussing health and wellness. Health and wellness. And they will introduce themselves as well.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Sumaya Dairo.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Amira Nonaga.
And our topic focused primarily, as you said, on wellness and the mental health and well-being within the Muslim community.
So to begin with, we kind of chose a topic around surrounding mental health as it's affecting the youth and how there's stigma around it within our community. Can you go back? Sorry. So we thought of like some of the major points regarding mental health in the youth, and some of the bigger issues are the lack of light shed on the topics of mental health, cultural viewpoints that overpower the need for the teachings of Islam when it comes to seeking medical intervention, insensitive remarks that spread misinformation surrounding mental health, and then the lack of resources shared in a way that's accessible to the youth.
While doing this project, we also gathered multiple statistics in reference to this. One being that there's over 1.9 billion Muslims in the world. Two, within the US, there's 3.45 million Muslims. And 26% of Muslims in the US are between the ages of 18 to 24. And the demographic being 25% of Muslims being Black identifying.
Continuing on that, only 1 in 5 Muslims connect their mental health with Islam. 52% of young Muslims have said that they face some sort of depression, and as we all know, that depression is a continuation. It's not just a one and done thing. And then also 63% of young Muslims have suffered some sort of anxiety. And taking all this into account, that's how we came up with our solution called Taqwa Trek.
So while doing this project, as mentioned, we also researched various competing apps that may be competitors with what we're doing and what we're also trying to achieve. As we said, our project is also encompassing being able to better help the mental health of the youth as well as others beyond that. There's apps such as Calm, which also help with guiding meditation, sleeping, breathing, and giving relaxation, but a con to it was the fact that it requires subscriptions within the users, therefore limiting the resources that the users can use. Another app was Headspace, which also similarly involves meditating for the user, but again, it requires subscriptions, therefore limiting the resources that the user can follow. And another one was the Mindfulness app, which is also another popular meditation app that helps with sleeping stories, relaxation, exercises, and then once again requires subscriptions, limiting the resources available for the user.
And then we also looked into some of the leading Muslim competition. The first major one was Sabr, which offers a wide range of Islamically guided meditation sessions, but some of the major drawbacks were that it was not user-tailored and only had limited content and was only solely prayer-focused. And the next one was Sakina, which offers Islamically guided meditations and techniques to help with relaxation, but again, limited content and was not user-tailored as well. And then the last biggest competition was Ruh, which integrates mindfulness practices with Islamic tradition, but it's not youth-centered, which is one of our biggest driving forces when we are thinking of creating our own website and platform. And it's also very limited in content and not user-tailored.
So pretty much what we ended up deciding and possibly coming up with is called Taqwa Track. And we want to dedicate a space to nurture the emotional and physiological well-being of our Muslim population, especially the youth community. And with this, we understand that the challenges that we face, especially in today's society, would be able to help address the mental health, and we believe that this will not only be beneficial to the person themselves, but to the faith as well, because improving yourself is also important in the faith, as well as being able to worship Allah and being a subservient servant. And then our mission through this is to provide a safe and judgment-free platform for the Muslim youth and to possibly seek out guidance, share experiences with one another, and also navigate the ups and downs that come with life itself. And we plan on promoting the health awareness as well as coping mechanisms that the youth can use, and as well as Islamic teachings to help guide those coping mechanisms, as well as being able to foster care and use their availability 24/7.
So to start this off, we knew that we needed to create a social media presence, because if we're geared towards the youth, we know that social media is a big factor in how youths live their life in this generation. So we created an Instagram account, and we have been continuously posting hadiths, and you can see some of our posts there in the image, but we posted our mission statement, and we continuously post reflection prompts so that our followers have the ability to not only get daily hadiths and Quran verses regarding mental health, or just things that can help them with anxiety or anything that they're facing, but we also knew that we were, you can go to the next slide, sorry. Knew that we will need to create a website so that it's not just Instagram, but the youth can have a directly accessible website, and inshallah later it will become an app. But these features on the website will include things like an hadith page, where your mental health is not only just tailored to your physical being, but it is also tied to your spiritual and emotional connection to Allah. And then there's also going to be a dua page on the website, which each day a carefully chosen dua is going to be chosen, and that aligns with physical, mental, and emotional health. And these duas are going to serve as a spiritual anchor that is going to remind our users that their well-being extends beyond just their physical. And then also we thought to add a unique feature called emergency contacts. So these contacts is going to be location-based, and it's going to allow our users to have a wide variety of professionals who they can speak to, but more importantly, Muslim professionals. And our goal is to bring in the youth of NCNMO who are in spaces of medical aid and professional and therapy spaces, who can provide their knowledge and their expertise, hopefully free of charge, and then that our users can be able to have those abilities given to them.
And then with more features available, we also thought of journaling, which would require or give the user a digital sanctuary. And that space you can be able to reflect your own experiences, clarify what you may be going through, as well as whether it may be goals or aspirations that you have for yourself to improve your fitness, mental clearness, spiritual alignments, and possibly continue to share your thoughts if you felt like it, as well as your wellness journeys with one another. We also wanted to create a professional registry, which would create a space for the Muslims, or which would actually provide Muslim or non-Muslim licensed professionals, including doctors, therapists, fitness trainers, and more. And within each committee, they would each provide care or support that the user may require. We also would provide daily Quranic verses, which would again be carefully chosen, possibly with a theme in mind, which would reflect physical or mental health for the user that can then have them as well introspect on their self and their well-being. And we also were thinking of having events near each space and location as mentioned, so that therefore the user can engage not only online but in person.
And then some more features include a parent guardian page, because as although we are focused towards our youth, the importance of a parental role in maintaining your child's mental health and physical well-being is important. So our goal is to equip parents and guardians with the knowledge and tools and inspiration that will bridge the gap between health, faith, and parenting. And then we're also thinking of including nasheeds, which are melodious tunes to bring solace and motivation and inspiration to to the health and wellness journey of our users. And again, as we saw as when we were doing our research, was that a lot of these apps are not user tailored. So our goal is to be able to provide that new innovation to our platform, so that our users are not just getting a broad spectrum of coping mechanisms, but things that will be tailored to them specifically, rather than just finding things that they can just look up on Google in 2 minutes. And then another major factor that we wanted to bridge into our platform was that we don't want this to cost any money, seeing as this is for our younger Muslim Ummah, and we don't want them having to pay to be, well in their spiritual and mental health journeys.
So as we mentioned, this target audience is primarily within the youth, but with the persona one is Gen Z, primarily being between the ages of 8 to 23, who are Muslim identifying with, of course, no specific ethnicity, and who may be struggling with mental health. With persona 2, it involves millennials, ages between 27 to 42, Muslim identifying, of course, again, with no specific ethnicities, and who may have either been struggling with mental health or have family members who do. And then, of course, with persona 3 is non-Muslims, but those who may be curious to know about Islam or to even improve their mental health, or as well research the components related to spiritual guidance for them as well.
So some of our stakeholders, in our platform, our internal stakeholders would be NCNMO with the Aspire and APC subgroups, because we want to include our working professionals into our app and give them the ability to network and to also put their expertise to use. Our external stakeholders would be donors, and then of course our users.
And then this was pretty much part of the timeline that we were coming up with as we were featuring and nurturing this project. So you can go to next. Yeah. So as we mentioned, the first part involved researching. As you saw, we were researching possible competing apps that could have been competing with with our app itself. But by also doing this research, we were able to also implement different factors that could also be a part of our app, especially since we want to make it Muslim focused as well as make it free for the user. The next part was the ideation and possibly figuring out how we would market it to our users, as well as coming up with possible solutions that could then help them with their spiritual journey. The next was then building the app itself, which involved creating all digital aspects, as well as the website and possibility for the app, as well as the social media pages. And then, of course, finally, we were going to launch the app. Of course, we'll do this once everything has been finalized. And we're thinking with the funds, if available, inshallah, we would be able to do this within the next 6 to 7 months.
So going forward, just because most of our work so far has been with just like free interfaces like social media and just building our own like beta website, we want to recruit professional web and app designers, discussions with APC and NCNMO to gather donors, as well as to get a list of our working professionals within our community who can provide their assistance and their help. And then connect with Muslim professionals to collaborate them and work into putting them on the registry for all the states, so that our users can have access no matter where they are. And then also, finally, to launch our website and our app, inshallah.
Thank you. We provided contact details as well if you wanted to look at the website and possibly contact us or look at the Instagram page as well.
Takbir. So please, everybody, follow at Taqwa Track on Instagram. So this might look like a small thing today. It could become a big thing. And with the Afropreneur around, so maybe we can even turn it into a business idea. So, but for now, it's just a project that is seeking solution to creating awareness for mental health issues among Muslim youths. So, and addressing it. Thank you so much, Sumaya and Amira. The last group is going to be the professional development group, and it's a one-man group for now, and he is going to introduce himself.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening, everyone. My name is Abdul Rahim Adelake. I'm presenting on behalf of the Professional Development Group. My other group member is Khadija Ali. She could not make it, so I'll be presenting on her behalf also. Next slide. So through our research with this project, we identified one problem when it comes to professional development in our community. We have a lot of high-achieving individuals in our community, highly educated, really pursuing these top-level careers, be it in STEM, health, business, law, the whole spectrum of different careers. But one issue we identified with this is that sometimes we have these high-achieving individuals, and we don't know them specifically. Like they come from our community, but other members in our community may not know about them, especially if, for example, if someone's from Maryland and they're doing very well, maybe someone in Texas who's also in our community does not know about this person. So that creates an issue on, can you go to the next slide, please? This creates an issue of the transference of knowledge. So we have these individuals who are already on these paths or these different careers, and we have individuals who want to get onto these careers, especially people from like in middle school, high school. They're looking to become like engineers, lawyers, doctors, and we have those in our community, but sometimes there's like a gap in that knowledge. So we have these people who already are doing these careers, and these people who want to get into these careers. So our solution, that was the identification of the problem for our project, and the solution we came up with was a way of bridging this gap. Next slide. So the solution we came up with was career profiles. The idea is that we can take these individuals who are already in these careers or on the track for these careers. We can do Zoom interviews or just interviews in person also to just ask them questions, ask how they got into their career, what they're doing, and then we can record these sessions and then post them. So these sessions will have two different variants. So we can have like panel discussions and also one-on-one discussions. So that'll just give like different inputs to like how they got into their career and different career tracks, even from people who are of the same career or similar areas. So as mentioned, sorry, can you go back one slide? So as mentioned, some of the interview questions can include things like, what influenced you to pursue this career? What were major challenges getting into the career? What future possibilities do you see in this career? So just even very simple questions, but there are things that can really help out people who are starting to get into these careers. So again, we have that transfer of knowledge so that if people who are getting into these careers face the same issues or have the same questions that other people who already came before them, we're able to pass down that knowledge so that they're able to get into these careers more easily. Next. So some of the benefits for this solution is that it will be able so that members in our community can just learn about the different careers out there, especially ones that are not heard of as much. So we already know like mainly for like STEM, other things like law, business, but like what are some of the careers that people don't really know about but that people in our community are pursuing? So this would be a good opportunity for that transference of knowledge. In addition, just gaining insight from the experience of other people, and to assist in retaining long-lasting professional relationships. So for example, if you're a younger person and you watch one of these recorded interview sessions, you can even reach out to this person, reach out to them on LinkedIn, reach out to them on email, get their contact, and then now you have someone who's in that industry that you were interested in. Next slide. So future steps for this is that we will complete more interviews. We will be able to take these interviews and post them to a channel. That was something we talked about in the group as a whole, being able to like take the different content that we have and be able to post them somewhere that's easily accessible to other people. And then we'll be able to monitor response based on like the views, comments, ratings of the content. This way we can make adjustments to it. Next slide. So here's a short 2-minute sample of one of the interviews. This was my team member, Khadija Ali. She's a health policy research analyst. Sorry, what? Sorry. Oh, okay. Sorry, one moment.
Sorry about the snag. We changed the computer we used. We tested this at a time, but we changed the computer at the last minute. So you're not seeing it? No, okay. So in that case, we'll probably round up. So it's, as he described, a way for professionals to be interfaced with people who might need it. So what we are trying to do is create an Aspire YouTube page where different content will be placed. So this is going to be one of the content where there are already interviews with professionals so that anybody in the community can go to that YouTube page, look at the content that applies to them, and they gain some more knowledge about that. So thank you very much, Abdurrahim. Sorry about the snag. So these are the 4 projects that we are presenting to you on Aspire for the year 2023. So we thank all of the participants, and we invite you to join them as they graduate. This is the last assignment they have for the year. So as it is now, all of them are formerly graduates of the Aspire program, and they are all joining the alumni class. Can we give them all a round of applause? Takbir. Takbir. So once again, we want to show our appreciation to NCNMO for the support of the Aspire program. And as we start the class of 2024, we look to more support, and we also encourage the rest of us to tell our qualified candidates to take a look at Aspire. It is for folks 18 to 40 years old. If you are not 40 by the time you apply, then you are qualified to apply. The application comes out between September and October, and we do interviews, and then you are formally invited to join the class. In the class of 2023, 18 folks are going to be graduating, and in the class of 2024, 15 folks are joining us. May Almighty Allah increase them in knowledge, increase our organization in Barakah. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun, wassalamu ala mursalin, walhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Thank you all for your attention.